Yo, welcome to the first ever episode of the All of Us podcast, as I am joined in this video by a very special guest, Josh Sauve. We first talk about how Josh was cut from the varsity basketball team as a junior and playing on JV, which was unusual, and how that affected him at that time. Then we talk about funny moments such as burritos flying into people's cars and Josh ending his night by throwing up at a party, to the more emotional and serious side of his mother passing away and how that affected him and how he set goals to become the man who he is today. With that being said, thank you for watching or listening to this video. Press that subscribe button, I appreciate it, and enjoy the video.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I know that a big part of this conversation is kind of, it is about you and I, but it's about mostly my story, what I've been doing. But, I want to congratulate you. I know that, being raised by a single mom and graduating this year, huge accomplishment for you. A lot of people don't do it. So, I know I'm kind of sneaking up on you on that. But,
you did not tell me you to say that. I appreciate that, though.
But you deserve it, bro. I think everybody has a story. Everybody deserves a chance to tell their story.
Absolutely.
Even you. I know you're the one that usually puts it all together, tries to talk about other people, but
right.
You deserve your chance too, bro.
How we first met. Alright, so how we first met is I was in someone's pool. This is probably the summer before high school.
Yep.
And this guy came over.
8th grade going into 9th grade.
Yeah, this guy came over and I was like, who's this ugly bastard? I was like, who is this kid, bro? He's ruining my time right now. I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, that's, pretty much like how we met.
You thought the same
how
thing.
we met, and I'm like...
He was a slender man.
I straight up said, dude, who invited the giraffe into the pool, bro? I didn't even know they could swim. But no, I think, that's how we met. And then, freshman year basketball season, kind of took off from there. And I remember that following summer, we just pretty much hung out every day.
Literally every day.
After that.
But like in between meeting and then like basketball, I have no clue what happened.
No, I
really don't remember.
I don't either. I have no idea.
All right, so we played freshman basketball together.
Mm-hmm.
We were both scared of making the team.
Yes.
We make our sophomore, what was it,
JV.
We made our JV team together. And then junior year comes around, which is the big boy varsity. We both try out. I made it, and Josh didn't. He didn't make it. A kid that was literally 4'8" made it over him.
And really, I got a funny story about that, because I remember getting to school and I knew that he was going to be putting this list up in the gym. So I'm, gym doors are locked and I can't get in there, and I'm like, what the hell? I can't see this list, So I remember getting into third hour. I'm in Miss O'Donnell's. Remember we had to take like Math Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
We had 7 hours. And I'm texting you. I'm like, hey, bro, who made the team? I still have these texts to this day. I'm not kidding.
Hey, bro, delete those. That's gigabytes.
And you sent me, I'm sorry, bro, and you sent me the list. And I remember telling my parents,
gosh, I do remember that. I did do that.
I asked my parents, hey, can you get me out of here? And they called me out of school. I went home, and it's like the first time that I had ever been heartbroken, bro. I mean, it was something that I worked so hard for every day, grinding, putting in the time, with the cones and putting in the shooting time.
And no one saw this besides probably me and a couple other people. Like,
Yeah,
this guy legit put in the time. With no lights out, maybe like one light on the rim. It'd be like midnight. We'd be out
My
there
dad used
in the
to
summer.
put that spotlight behind the
like a tractor beam light on
Yes.
his roof.
Yes.
And we used to put that up there. Like, I mean, that's not even just like with basketball. It's literally everything. Like right now, we're sitting in your house. You have a car.
Yeah.
A big boy job at Chrysler.
Yeah.
22 years old. Like,
but
you don't just get handed that.
And to extend from getting cut, what I've learned from that is, if you want to be the person on the list, you want to be the person that gets picked, you don't give that person a choice. The person picking those people, you don't give that person a choice. You be that good. That's really what it boiled down to. After I got done being upset and blaming other people, and really getting through the angry part and playing JV as a junior that year, I just remember being a total mental nutcase.
Yeah.
But when it boils down to it, if I would have been good enough, I would have been on the team. It would have been clear cut, right?
But you're telling me that you weren't better than the other person that made it.
I don't know. I mean, I want to say yes, because I'm a confident person. I believe in myself.
I was on the team, and I would even say it. Not because you're just my friend, but like.
But yeah, but at the same time, if I really wanted to be on the team, I should have been part of that first 5 or that first 7, right? I should have never made it a choice, and that's really what I learned from that, and kind of what took me to the next level with a lot of other things.
Like he played JV, which is only sophomores, as a junior. Yeah. Everyone ripped on him. In school, but also the one person that didn't rip on you, I'm not gonna say their name, but another person did make the team that year, and then they were like, "Oh, Josh is playing on the JV team. Let me go ahead and join that as well."
Yes, dude. And you know what? I know who you're talking about, and he's kind of the same cat, man.
Literally,
yeah. I mean, I seen that kid go and play college football, and he was scrawny. He was, he didn't really have the physical stature for it, but come his senior year of football, he took it really seriously, and then I seen him go on to the next level.
Then he made varsity the next year.
Yeah. So, I'm glad that, there are other people that recognize that when you work hard for something and you make it clear cut that you deserve to be a part of that group, you can be a part of that group,
Absolutely.
Huge. So, something that I did want to kind of bring up, besides all the serious stuff, dude, some funny times that you and I have had.
Why are you gonna say it like that? Some funny times.
Some funny
Okay, we're
times,
not gonna lie,
bro.
we've gotten to mischief.
Some funny times, dude.
When you've known someone for like 8 years now, you're bound to have some like funny times. But dude, these are times that we could have gotten our asses whooped. I'm not gonna lie. Let's talk about a burrito flying through someone's car.
Sophomore year. Dude, we usually go to Taco Bell all the time.
Okay, we have to tell like the full story, like after we did it, what happened at your house.
I know we do. So we're in my 2001 Chevy Silverado, bro. Beater. Total beater. Driving home from Taco Bell. Whose burrito was it? Was it yours?
It was whoever's car that was. That's who it was.
It was my burrito?
I don't know. 5-layer.
5-layer burrito. I do remember that.
5-layer
It's got beans, everything.
Oh, it had sour cream, beans, cheese.
Dude.
I don't know. Cilantro.
Burrito gets whipped into...
Oh, no. First, we open it up. So when we threw it, we knew
that it's going to splatter.
Damage.
It was going to splatter.
Yeah. And it did.
And splatters all over the inside of this minivan, bro. Kid comes running off the porch.
Yeah.
And we skirt out of there, bro. Get to my house, pull in the driveway.
Kid fully saw us. And he...
100%.
I'm not going to say it, never mind.
And he knew us.
He didn't know us. We were at the same school as him. We didn't know that was his house, though.
We had no idea.
That's what's so funny.
We had no idea. It kind of came to bite us, but, bro, we ran around in our house, lock ourselves in the house. Next thing I know, bro, we hear a pounding on the door, dude.
Yeah, and let me say this though real fast. If me and someone else weren't in the basement hiding, and he would have saw all 3 of us there, he would have been like, "You did it."
Yes.
But that's literally the only reason why we did not get caught.
Yes, I know. But the dad, man, the dad pulls up, pounded on the door. I come and open the door, and he's like, "Josh, where have you been?" And I go, Nowhere. I said, I got home from school. I've been chilling. What? Dude puts his hands up, and he's got beans, meat, all type burrito.
He's got a 5-layer hand.
5-layer burrito hands, bro. And he's like, somebody whipped a burrito in my
Could you
car.
imagine being that person? He didn't even clean up his car. He just literally got in.
Dude, got in.
Sat on the fire later and said, I'm going to his house.
Yes. And all I could say is, I don't know who did it, but I have some napkins for you.
Could you imagine like not laughing? I was downstairs laughing so hard.
I got the best part of the whole story, bro. I could look at his van, and the burrito's on the inside of the car, right? Chunks on the windshield.
Yeah.
He's got the windshield wipers on like it's on the outside of the car,
Wait,
bro.
you didn't tell me that.
Dude.
Cloudy with a chance of 5 later. Oh man. Another. What should we talk about? The crown. The
bro.
crown road.
The crown.
All right, so. Josh comes up for. Was it Halloween?
No.
Okay.
The women's soccer team had their championship.
Yeah. Josh comes to visit me at college for their for the women's soccer team had their championship game, and we're texting. He's like, "Yo, I got a fifth of crony. I need to finish." I was like, "You're asking for a good time. Or you're asking for something else." But
Bro,
long story short, he
Fifth
finished.
of Crown.
Finished it.
Case of Claws.
Yeah, we had a case of claws, a fifth of Crown. I had like maybe 3 sips. This guy was hogging it. We're out at the party. We're at the women's soccer celebrating the championship, and I'm dancing or talking. I think I'm just talking to someone, and I turn around and this guy is dancing on the table with his hands on the ceiling. I'm like, what? Next thing I know, I look 90 degrees to my right, fifth of Crown Royal right there, empty. I was like, say,
Yeah, bro. You know, like, as another great, part of that you know, I had helped a couple of people that got drunk that night. I had like a couple other friends that were there, and they're like puking, and I'm like cleaning up the bathroom. You had that one kid that was puking on the couch, and I like put him outside.
Oh, don't say you put him outside. You threw him outside.
No, I
Shut
didn't.
put him outside.
But he's outside, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, I'm having a good time, dude. Next thing I know, I'm the one
He's the one
hugging
clogging the toilet.
Yeah, hugging the toilet.
Had to go in there
bowl,
with a plunger.
Crazy.
Aside from the funny stuff, now we're gonna get back into some serious stuff.
Yeah. Really, what kind of started it all was, I was a senior, and I'm trying to decide on where I'm gonna go to school, and I really like my idea of like playing college basketball. Like it wasn't something that I really wanted to go after, because I had a really, really good senior year, and I had a lot of fun playing at Trenton, and I played for a good team and a good coach.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, so I really didn't want to play college basketball. I had decided to go to Baker College in Allen Park, and I remember my dad telling me, like, look, Josh, you're gonna stay home, and you're gonna be able to get your schoolwork done, and I already know you're gonna be grinding this out, and while your friends might be away, kind of experiencing something different and getting learning some different life lessons and stuff like that. But it ended up all working out because in September when my mom got sick, everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything changed when she got diagnosed, and I knew how bad it was. I set 3 goals for myself, and I said I wanted my mom to see me graduate. I wanted to get a job with FCA with Chrysler, and I wanted to buy a house. I had those 3 goals. My mind was set on those 3 goals, and I didn't care what was going to get in my way, who was going to get in my way. I was going to reach those 3 goals because I wanted so bad for my mom to see that. So, I go through my freshman year of college, and I'm grinding out all these classes. I had ended up taking like 6 classes a semester or something crazy like that. It was like 18 credit hours,
credits, yeah.
So I start grinding that out, and I apply for an internship at Chrysler. And the grace of God, dude, I really don't know how or why, but I was picked to get interviewed. And I remember I had never had a new suit. I had always had like a used hand-me-down suit, right? And my mom takes me to Men's Warehouse, and I get fitted for a suit. I wear this blue suit with a white shirt, and I thought I was crispy, bro. I thought I was the sickest dude out there, right?
said crispy.
Dude, I swear, I thought I was like, I thought I was total shit. So I go to this interview, and I have a good interview, and they take me on for in my first year of college as an intern, and I grinded, bro. Every single day that summer, I just worked. Every day that I could work, I would work. And I get asked to get extended as an intern. And I extend all the way until October. Keep going on with the classes. And I remember telling the director of our department, if you bring me back, not that year, but the following year, I'll be done with my degree. I'm on track to graduate in 3 years. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yes, sir. So I do my second internship. It goes just as well as I had hoped for. I learned a lot of new experiences. But right before that second internship started and my mom passed away, I hadn't reached those 3 goals. I said I wanted to graduate, get a job, and get a house before my mom had passed away. I wanted her to see me do that, and just like when I was finally realizing from getting cut as a basketball player that if you don't work for something, you're not gonna get it. And when I didn't accomplish those 3 goals, it was hard for me, bro. I almost gave up right then and there. But I got a call from my boss, and he's like, he had no idea about my mom, and he's like, hey, when do you want to start your internship? And I said, even though my mom's not going to be able to physically congratulate me, physically hold me and hug me about reaching these goals, I'm going to do it. I don't care. And so I had started, my mom passed away. We do the funeral luncheon, beautiful service, beautiful ceremony. I mean, yeah, you were there. And great honor to my mom. And I had started my internship that Monday. It's the only thing that kept me moving, man. I mean, I get that internship started, my summer classes started, and it just kind of skyrocketed from there, and I had never pushed myself like that. I would get up, go to work at 4:30 in the morning. I'd get out of work, maybe work out, and I would shoot to class at night, come home, do homework, and start it all over again, But it was something I wanted so bad.
Yeah.
And, when I finally accepted an offer from FCA to become a full-time employee as no longer an intern, but get hired in as a full-time employee, I have the recording on my phone of me accepting the offer. It was just totally mind-blowing, and it was eye-opening. I was like, you can set your mind to something and do it. And I'm nothing special. I'm not different than anybody else. I just had motivation. I had the people around me that were gonna help me get there, and I got there. And that was the bottom line. It was a huge testament to what my mom had set me up for. And I worked that first year. I had some student loans that I wanted to pay off. Paid off all those student loans, and I started saving all my overtime money, all my checks, because my student loans have been paid off, so I started saving all my money, and I'm like, holy cow, this buying a house here is coming close, Saved enough money, quarantine happens, and I get this house in Trenton. I remember driving to go, you sign all your closing documents, and I remember driving to go there, and pretty much my whole life, my mom had this song from Rascal Flatts that, she loved to play and say it was her song for her kids. And when I got older and she had gotten sick, she tells me, Josh, this song is no longer, I like this song a lot, but sick, she tells me, Josh, this song is no longer, I like this song a lot, but the song by Rascal Flatts is called Stand. She's like, that's my new song. She's like, I love this song. And it's all about, no matter what happens, you gotta get up and stand.
Don't tell me that thing played on your way.
Swear to God, man. Swear to God. I usually don't even listen to country music, like I do listen to it, but like I never really have it on the radio and stuff like that. And I'm just like flicking through the radio and this song comes on. And I have this little keychain that my buddy Marcon, his mom, got me, and it's like a picture of my mom, and on the other side it's a picture of my mom and I hang it from my rear view mirror, and I just look at that thing and I'm like, damn it, and all 3 goals had been accomplished that day. I had worked so hard to try and accomplish those 3 goals before because I knew my mom was gonna pass away, like I knew that she was only gonna be able to hang on for so long, and I had worked so hard, and when I had not accomplished that goal, I felt worse than the day that I had gotten cut from that basketball team. But it was the same burn, man. I mean, like it almost to where you're not upset, you're just angry, furious, and I just sat down and I said, I gotta finish this. My parents had always taught me to finish, no matter how many times I wanted to quit as a junior on JV. I hated it. And they're like, you're just gonna finish this. You wanted to do this, and we, you're in a position to finish it, so finish it. And so I did, and when it came time to finish those 3 goals and accomplish those 3 goals, I had to, I like to say that it's like self-motivation, that I did it.
Right.
Yeah, I did it because, I said I was going to do it. That's not true, I mean, there was a lot of days where I'm like, I'd be so exhausted. And, my girlfriend Megan, my sister, my brother, and my dad, and especially my Aunt Arlene, they would pick me up on some of my worst days. I mean, totally carry me. My dad, he still talks. I mean, he actually, he still talks about it. I would come upstairs and I'd be so exhausted from homework during finals and working full time, and he'd be like, "Hey, you want to eat?" And like, I don't even remember like hearing him ask the question, and he'd just be like, "It was amazing." He goes, "I'd feed you and I'd tell you, all right, go ahead, finish your homework." And even though I didn't notice it at the time, those are the small little comments that just keep you going, or things that I would hang up in my room, like those 3 goals, or back when I was a junior. You probably remember, dude, that list that you sent me, it was printed out, and it was all over my room.
It was printed out.
It was printed out, it's all over my room. And like I said, I want to call it self-motivation, but it was the right people around me. It was the right people around me that really pushed me.
Let me say this. Ever since basketball, and especially like when we went off to school, or like when I went off to school, even being away, how much, like, I don't even know the right word, you're almost like an inspiration, honestly, because someone that has that happen to them at the same age, like, I remember, like, after hearing about what happened, I would sit down and I'd be like, I'd have no idea who or what I would be if that were happening to me, but I know for a fact, I can say this humbly, I was there for him more than 98% of the other people that we knew or anyone else.
Oh yeah.
So I knew he would do the same, but like, how hardworking this guy actually is. Like, we are sitting in his house right now.
And you know, I appreciate that, but like, you know, I know I only brought up like some family of mine, but like, you know, I had you, and I had Tyler Crawford, I had, you know,
it's
my
nothing
cousin,
you need to be. It's nothing I need to be.
I know
You
that.
don't need to
I
say
know
thank
that.
you. Or
I know that.
It's a given.
And you know, my friend Clarence, you know, Tyler especially, because he was living with me.
Right.
I mean, I was such an ass all the time. You know, because I was so go about my dreams, about my goals, that a lot of people I didn't have. I had such tunnel vision that I really wasn't there for a lot of people, and you know, it was kind of like when I was leaving Edsel. It was a lot like that. There's a lot of really good people in Dearborn. There are. And there's a lot of people that I cut out that were there for me as a freshman and a sophomore. And, you know, as soon as something bad happened to me, I cut everybody out. And I was focusing on myself. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Focusing on yourself and on your goals is important.
Absolutely not.
Is important,
Yeah.
you know. But you know, that's why I was so excited to record this with you, because there's a lot of people that I have to say thank you to, that they know who they are and they got me through that junior year.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people that got me through those 18 months that my mom was sick. And then after my mom passed away, there's a lot of people that would pick me up every day. You know, they'd send me a quick text, or I would send them a text, and they'd respond with this big, long paragraph. You know, you especially respond with this big, long paragraph and just listen to what I had to say and speak to me on it. You know, a lot of people that I had cut out, and what I'm learning is that just because I don't talk to those people every day, just because I might not invite them to my house every weekend or whatever, or I might skip them over on accident for a party or something.
Yeah.
But they're there, and when I meet up with them, I link up with them, and it's like we had never stopped
like
talking.
when I was off at school and like you would come and visit, it's like I just saw you literally yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
exactly.
You got a mustache now, that's cool, that's the only thing different. I mean, but there's only certain people, I feel like, yeah, there's people that are there for you like right now, but it wouldn't be like it used to be.
Yeah.
But it all, I mean, like, everyone has those people, everyone has those friends.
I know, like, we're not supposed to like throw out names and stuff, but like,
if you want to, go ahead.
I know that. So, you know, a perfect example was when I was leaving Dearborn. I was like, you know, F everybody out here, man. I'm so done with it. And I had left, but I wasn't. I knew I didn't really feel that way. And football season, you know, I scored this one touchdown against Malvindale, and I end up in the newspaper, right? And Prince Alex and Bobby DeSantis, who I had not talked to pretty much my whole junior year, you know, they were coming out and supporting me as a junior on JV. They'd get out of the weight room and watch me play. You'd come and watch me play, and then I end up in the newspaper at Trenton, and I would think they would be like, yeah, who cares? That kid left. But dude, they're throwing comments in there that I just, it was all love, and it was stuff that, you know, I didn't really think would happen. You know, I thought there would be a lot of people that hated me for leaving, or a lot of
There
people.
probably still is.
There probably is, but
at
you
this
know,
point, like,
but what I'm learning is that there's a lot more good people out there that care about me and my well-being than what I actually thought. You know, when I had gotten cut, and then when my mom got sick, I thought the whole world was out to get me.
What I've noticed now, especially being graduated and back home, is that I'm talking to people that I haven't talked to since high school and hanging out with them, and it's like everyone's doing their own unique thing, and there's nothing better than like supporting someone that you've known, especially like you and other people for 8 years that you remember having math class with them, and now they're whatever. Like that's why, especially those two people, like some of the most humble people.
They're humble, and they graduated. They don't have a great situation.
Right.
You know, I don't want to throw Bobby's business out there, but like he's been through some stuff, man.
Yeah, he is.
You know, Prince Alex has been through some stuff, and they still found a way to grind it out, graduate, and I don't know where they're at now, what they're doing, but I know they're good people.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of other people that year or years leading up to the going forward, you have friends out there that you don't even know that you have.
Yeah.
I think everybody in 2020 is so big into fake friends and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, yeah, there probably are a lot of people that front and put on a pretty face just because they see you, right? And then they turn their back and they're like, that guy really ain't shit, But I think a majority of the people out there, they're there to help you, and
you know, they don't have to say it, who it is.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm gonna ask you this one last thing. Okay, what is one thing that I'm not gonna say like what's wrong with you, but like that you would change about yourself, or that you like need to work on?
I think one thing that I need to change about myself is, I don't know so much change, but practice better, is empathy. I think a lot of shitty things have happened to me. I've had a couple of bad hands dealt my way, and I've always, especially in the last 5 or 6 years, been so focused about myself that I don't know, always take other people's situation or some of their problems into consideration.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because like there's so many people out there, especially at college, that like walk around and just because their hair is purple, people are like, oh, they're a freak. It's like, I was friends with like some of the nicest people that had their ears pierced, or
they were different. They were different.
That's why I liked them like that.
Yeah. But when I say practice empathy, I mean actually caring about how somebody is, and actually wanting to be there for them. It's been something really hard for me, because I've tried to block the emotional side out of things, because it was always kind of holding me back when I was trying to achieve a lot of goals. Those goals that I had set for myself, they were so hard to reach that I didn't let anything get in the way of them. And a big part of that is like relationships with family and friends, and making sure that they're okay too. And I'm doing a lot of catching up for that right now.
Is quarantine like opening your eyes more to like?
Well, because it's given me the time to think about it.
Right.
I have been on the go for so long now that I stopped thinking about others.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to really focus hard on paying attention to some other things, and paying attention to the things that are around me. Because not to bring up something horrible, but there's people that kill themselves every day, and the people around them wouldn't even know that they were hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that I have a family member member or a friend that's in that situation. But what I'm saying is that I could pay closer attention to what's going on with them, and I think that's, showing empathy and caring about them. I had cut my inner circle so close that that it was hard for me. So I think that's, being more empathetic would be for sure what I really want to focus on more in going forward.
It takes a lot to actually realize that for someone that's so young still.
Yeah.
To actually realize that and then say out loud that they need to do that. It takes a lot of a lot of props.
Yeah, thank you. But like I said, dude, I absolutely hated the varsity coach for cutting me. I couldn't even look at him. He made me so sick, and I had so much hate built up in me, and that I never looked in the mirror and said, Josh, you weren't good enough. You skipped some days of training. You didn't do every single thing that you could have done to make that team. You didn't lift weights, and that's what a lot of kids need to realize now, is that, a majority of the things that happen to you are your fault.
Yeah.
And you have the power to control it. You have the power to stand back up, like my mom always wanted me to do.
It takes a lot of power to realize that it's something that you did, maybe. Don't think it's always someone else.
It's so corny to say look in the mirror, but that's a powerful saying. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and recognize that you can control the outcome. You're always in control if you want to be. And the things that you can't control, then so be it. Then it is what it is. But at least you know that you were doing the right things.
Exactly.
And that goes for everything. Relationships, goals, everything. Life in general. You want control of something, then take control of it, I don't know.
Facts. All right, so after hearing everything we've already talked about and stuff that he's gone through that's helped him become the man who he is today, don't think that you're the only one out there that goes through these types of things. Like, if we can sit here and say in front of everyone watching, like he said, look in the mirror, say whatever you need to say that's on your mind. If you feel different about anything or against the social norm about doing anything, we do the same things. And he just said out loud that he needs to focus on something. Honestly, how many people do you think actually can recognize something and then say it not only to themselves out loud but to someone else too on camera?
Yeah. Like I said at the beginning of the video, everybody has a story.
It's true. And
everybody needs to take the time to say, this is what's happened, and this is how I'm going to write the story going forward. And, not just me, not just your friends, but you too, bro. Take the time, tell your story. Because as much as you want to call me a success, you're a success too. And we have a lot of other family and friends that are successes as well. So thank you very much for having me. I hope we have another conversation like this about other shit. Shit that's not so serious. But
hey, it's part of your story, like you said. So
yeah.
All right, that's gonna wrap up this video, this podcast, whatever this episode is. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, if not, thank you.